Welcome, welcome. So, have you felt overwhelmed about the thought of exercising? So, we're going to just jump right into it. Um, and you want to start working out, but honestly don't know where to start. So, this live today is going to be a little bit different. You're not going to hear the usual, like, do 10 squats, do, running. That is not what I'm here to teach you today. I'm going to teach you fundamentals. So I'm going to introduce myself real quick. Latoya, thank you so much for letting me know that you could hear and you could see me. I appreciate that. My name is Brenda Green. I'm the owner of Fit for a Better Me and creator of Virtually Better Fitness, where we teach women that being fit and healthy is actually easy when you stop dieting and start moving. Um, Today, you are going to learn from this video 3 steps to start your fitness journey. Just 3 steps. That's all you need to start your fitness journey. So let's get started. Does anyone have any questions for me right now? All right, so I'm gonna get started. Usually these lives and these Let's Chat with Coach B only last about 30 minutes. I like to keep them nice, short, and simple because we have busy lives. So we got a lot of stuff to do. So let's get started. So where to start on your fitness journey? Step number one. So grab your paper, grab your pen, and focus for a few minutes while I go through these steps. So step number one, know thyself. I know you're like, what? That's step number one. Yes, know thyself. And what do I mean by that? I want you to realize what type of person you are when it comes to fitness. Are you a morning person? Do you like waking up early and exercising? Do you like working out in the evenings? Do you get motivated by group classes or working outside, outdoors, or you're more of an outdoor person? Or do you prefer to do something by yourself? You're more of a loner. Do you like fast pace? Do you like kind of going on your own pace or a little bit lower impact? What is it that you enjoy doing that's fitness related that you personally enjoy? And the reason why you have to know thyself and why this is step number one and why it's so important, in order for you to stay consistent, you need to enjoy what you're doing. Do not force yourself to do something that someone else is doing because it's working for them, but you try it and you hate it. You will not stay consistent. This is where comparison is no good. So otherwise, you're setting yourself up for failure. So think about it. If you know you're not a morning person, and we all know whether we're a morning person or evening person, if you know you're not a morning person, do not commit yourself to saying, I am going to wake up every day at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning to go work out. Yay! Uh, no, sis. You might do it one day, you might do it day two, but by day three, you're like, no, I can't do this. You're setting yourself up for failure before you even start. So know thyself. That is step number one. Does anyone relate to this? Have you done that before? And whoever's out there, please post in a comment. Let me know that you're there. So can anyone relate to this? Have you committed? We've all done it at some point where we're like, yes, we're hyped, we're motivated, and I'm going to start and I'm going to go to the gym knowing you don't like the gym. Um, you don't like the gym. So you're like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then you end up not doing anything at all. Hey, Crystal, thank you for tuning in. So the question she's asking, what was the question? The question is, have you done that before where you kind of set up yourself for failure? You were motivated, so you didn't think you were going to fail, but you kind of set up yourself for failure because you did not follow knowing thyself. Because that is step number one, is know thyself, or the things that you know you like to do. I have a friend, she does not do well with virtual classes. She loves group classes. She loves being around people. So don't try to do a virtual class or do an online class where you don't have that engagement, because you're gonna it's just not gonna happen. So find the things that you actually enjoy doing. um I also have someone else who, another older client, she used to go to the gym, and I used to be her personal trainer. She hates the gym. She used to go because she liked me, but she hates the gym. And once I stopped working as a personal trainer, guess what happened? She stopped going to the gym because I wasn't there and it wasn't her thing. She likes outdoor. She likes getting on a bike. She likes going hiking. She likes doing those things. Do those things that you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, you'll stay consistent with it. So know thyself. Step number two. Step number two. Start where you are and commit to what you can handle. As I mentioned before, many of us go off the block looking like Shakira Richardson, and y'all know who that is by now, going off the block, full sprint, trying to get into this fitness journey. While before, you didn't train like that before to go full sprint. You've been chilling on the couch, eating bonbons and watching Netflix. What happens when you go off the block that fast without any training? Straight burnout. Straight burnout. You're going to burn yourself out. The mindset you have to come into your starting your fitness journey is think long haul, lifestyle, long term. If you're thinking short term, you're going to burn yourself out. You're not going to stay consistent. You're not going to stay consistent. So you really have to let go of the mentality about the time and just do it. Do one day at a time and take it one day at a time. Because you will get overwhelmed, get frustrated, and then guess what? You're going to quit. Can anybody out there relate to what I am saying? Please let me know you can hear and see me and understand what I'm talking about. Am I resonating with anybody out here right now? And if I know you're probably tired too of, what ends up happening, you get tired of starting, beginning, and then falling back, and you get frustrated and then end up not doing anything. So, what I want you to do with this step is honestly take a step back. I want you to first go back to step number one that we just talked about and know thyself and figure out what is it that you actually like to do. What do you enjoy that could become something that you could do for fitness? Is it walking? Is it jogging? Is it, I don't know, hiking? Is it biking? Is it doing a group class? You totally enjoyed that Zumba class that you went to with your mom, or cycling. So for me, I'll be honest. So recently, I bought a bike, and I've had it for a while, and I finally went out cycling, and oh my God, I totally enjoyed it. I had so much fun. And that is something that I want to incorporate into my fitness because it's something that I truly enjoy. But I also, in that second part of step two, is start where you are and then commit to what you can handle. I found out that going cycling requires me to pull about 4 hours of my day. That's a lot of time for me to dedicate to one thing. So, as much as I like it, I'm not going to commit myself to saying, okay, I'm going to go cycling, 3 times a week or 4 times a week. Not with my schedule. That's not going to happen. Again, knowing yourself, going back to step number one, know thyself. It's really important that you know that if you can't stay consistent, how often could you actually do it? Looking at my schedule, I think I could do it maybe once a week or 3 times a month, once a week. That's about it. I can't, it'll be very difficult for me to do it. And that's okay with me because I'm still doing something that I enjoy. So I got some questions. Let me see. Lisa. Hey, Lisa. You said dancing. Yes. Find something that you enjoy. If you enjoy dancing, you know how much you could lose weight and just Have fun while you're doing it, while you're dancing. Latoya says, I'm about to join a group class. It's a boot camp and I'm excited. Awesome. And you know what? That is great. Try something new. Is that your first class, Latoya? Cool. So let me know if that's your first class for boot camp, or have you ever done a boot camp? The other thing that I want to talk about with step number 2, and kind of still knowing thyself. So there's something called habit stacking. So I have a really great friend, and I met out with her recently, and she told me she loves reading and actually reads about one book a week, 1 or 2 books a week. And, she loves to read, and that's really her thing. But she also wants to exercise. And I asked her, I'm like, okay, so what does it look like when you're reading? Because I would love to read. I just honestly don't have the time. So I do my audiobooks. That's what I do. And so I really admire the fact that she takes out the time to read, but she also admires the time that I take out the time to go exercise and go to the gym. So she reads, you just imagine she's reading on the couch, with a glass of wine, soft music, relaxing, in her home while she's reading her book. This is what she enjoys to do. So I advise her, if you want to also exercise, habit stack. Doing something you enjoy with something that you have to do. She could totally still read her book while she's walking on a treadmill, while she's on a bike, and she's getting her exercise and still reading her book. And you know what's going to happen? She's going to get so caught up in her book that she's going to completely forget that she's on this bike or she's walking. She's going to be so engulfed in what she's doing because she enjoys what she's doing that she's going to forget that she's actually exercising. And that's just another way to habit stack. If you love watching Netflix and watching movies, break out your phone on the treadmill and sit there and watch your movie and enjoy your show. Again, time passes as you're doing something that you enjoy. So is that resonating to anyone? So Latoya said, yes, it is her first time. Yay! Would love to hear more about that. So does anybody have any questions about the habit stacking, or anything like that? And I forgot my water. Oh no, I didn't. It's just my gallon. I usually have a cup. Any questions on step number 2? So step number 1 is know thyself. Step number 2 is start where you are and commit to what you are handling. So if you haven't done, if you haven't been working out for a long time, don't commit to doing 5 days a week. Commit to 3, commit to 2. Shoot, start even smaller than that if you're really intimidated and feel like you're not going to be consistent. Start once a day. Once a week. And every week, increase it. Okay, next week I'll do two days. And then the following week I'll do 3 days. And maybe by week 4, I feel better about what I'm doing and I'm kind of enjoying it, and add a 4th day. And also, just because you started something doesn't mean that's all you have to do. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? So what could happen is you could be really excited. And Latoya, I'm going to use your example because you mentioned boot camp and it's your first time. You could go, and I'm not saying this is going to happen to you, but it could happen to anyone in anything that you do that's new. You'll get excited. You'll go enjoy it maybe the first day. You go the second time. You don't like it. And then you keep dragging yourself there because you committed, which is great. Finish off what you committed, but it's not something that you find yourself doing long term, then that is okay. Kudos to you, first of all, for trying something new, sticking with it for your commitment. But once it's over, you're like, okay, I don't know, I'm not going to do that again. I need to find something else that may work for me. And that is totally okay. With the process of fitness, starting a fitness journey is honestly, kind of trial and error, trying to figure out what fits, what works well for me, what works with my schedule. That is really what's important, because again, it's about staying consistent with what you're doing. So does anyone have any questions? So Latoya said it's called Camp Gladiator. You can be pulling up by your zip code in your area. I'm going to one that's free week trial starting on Monday. Awesome. I'm gonna drink some water. I apologize. Big old bottle. All right. So let's move on to step number 3. Document and observe your journey. Honestly, like I just mentioned, everything is trial and error. So sometimes things work, sometimes things don't work for you. It might work, again, it might work for someone else, but it's just not for you, and that is okay. And that's really the key word. It's not for you. So you could always have other alternatives to try. So all the programs, most of the programs, fitness programs you see being advertised out there, some I agree with, some I don't agree with. But most of the programs that are out there do work. But the key to all of them working is your consistency. This is why it's important to find what works for you. So choose something that you like to try for 4 to 6 weeks, and then switch it up, depending on if you liked it or you need some more intensity. Increase the intensity, and that's how you're going to get stronger and be more consistent with your work. As far as document is concerned, document your progress. Take before and after pictures, measurements, and document how you're also eating. You want to know how you want to be observe how you're eating, what you're eating, how is it affecting your body as well. Or at least if you're not documenting what you're eating, at least be mindful of what you're eating, because that's really key as well to starting a fitness journey is your nutrition. So for instance, if you jump into a CrossFit class, or again, using Latoya going into this boot camp, and you're not used to eating breakfast in this morning class, this boot camp could kick your butt and you're going to be, might get sick. So you have to figure out what works for you. Now, the first time you're not feeling well with the first class, second class, you're like, you know what? I need to eat. That's what happened. That's trial and error and learning what you have to do. As I mentioned before, you could use a consistent, well, as I mentioned in a prior live, try to stick to programs for 4 to 6 weeks. That's usually how long you'll see a difference if you stick to them for a longer period of time. Sticking to a program for 2 weeks, you're not going to see much. You're not going to see much difference, except if it's something extreme, which I don't advise either. So doing something for 4 to 6 weeks, stay with it, stay consistent, because that's what's really going to show the difference in your transformation. And also just make adjustments as you see fit throughout the process. That's really, really important. That's really, really important. So does anyone have any questions? I meant to mention with the documenting, one of the things that most people struggle with, it is consistency. So one of the things that I've been teaching is my clients to use a consistency calendar or tracker, where you could track literally, and I do it myself. So I'm going to show it to you because it's literally on my desk. So I just printed out, let me see, where's my camera? So I printed out a little calendar. This is for June, right? And you see all my X's, and the parts that are in there, that means that I did something with my fitness. And it's something about just marking it off that you did it that feels amazing, like amazing accomplishment. And when you finish and you see, so I have my rest days in there too, and I kind of mark those off. But I could tell you off the bat, in the last, this will be the 4th week, I have literally worked out 6, 7, 19 times. So right away, this is accountability. So what I'm telling you is something that I actually do too. So I'm currently like in a 4-week program that I created myself, and I'm sticking with it. And I've already seen a ton of changes on my body. Even my husband said he sees changes on my body, which is great because that means it's working. So using a consistency calendar, even that simple, I literally printed that out from the internet, free calendar printout, printable calendar, something like that. Printed it out, and I mark it off right on it. I know what body parts I'm going to be working on because I have a whole different book for my schedule and what I'll be doing that day for my workouts. But I keep that little calendar because it just feels awesome. Just kind of, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And it just keeps you motivated and going. So using a consistency calendar really helps as well. So does anyone have any questions? Because honestly, those are my 3 steps, and I'm going to do a quick recap before we end this call. All right, so let's recap. Step number 1 is know thyself. Don't set yourself up for failure before you even start. Do something that you enjoy and do it during the time that you are able to do it. So if you're not a morning person, don't work out in the morning. I'm not an evening person. So when you catch me working out in the evening, I'm trying to stay consistent with my calendar, but I hate it. It's not my time. I drag when I'm there. I have to take, something to keep me pepped up, and that's not always fun because then I can't sleep at night. So it's a whole debacle if I work out in the evening. If I work out in the evening. Number 2, start where you are. So you don't want to come out the box going 100, going 100 miles per hour. Start where you are. Start slow. Slow and consistent will get you to your results. And be patient. This is about the long haul. It's about lifestyle. It is not a marathon. It is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And that statement is so, so true. And number 3, document, or be mindful, or do both. Be mindful of what you're eating, be mindful of what you're doing, be mindful, document how much you're doing of certain things, because that's going to keep you consistent, and it also allows you to see your progress. So you want to take before and after pictures as well. So I want to try something new today, and it's called hot seat coaching. So if anybody's out there and um, wants help with, starting their journey and using these 3 steps, we could talk through the process. So if anybody's out there, raise your hand. I'll ask some questions. You could post it in the comments, and we could go through a quick hot seat coaching through the 3 steps to get you started on your journey. So give me a hands raised if anybody wants to go through that. If not, that's fine. We could move on and wrap this call up in a few minutes. So I know I'm in a little delay, so I'm gonna wait a few to see if any comments come in. Do I have any? Let's see here. Anyone? Anyone wants to try? Are you thinking about what to do and can't figure it out? I know Leslie says she wants to go dancing. She likes dancing to work out. We could figure out a plan on where you could get started. All right. So we don't have anybody to do the hot seat coaching. Totally cool. But if you need time to brainstorm each of these steps and you want to just talk about it, please comment below. Even if you're watching the replay, comment below and I'll send you a link to do a 15-minute let's get started strategy call. And if this is something that you're seriously about doing and really are overwhelmed or frustrated or just can't figure out where to start because you want to try so many things, there's so much information out there. We could definitely work together and drill down and come up with a plan that really works for you and is going to allow you to stay consistent. So feel free to post in the comments, even if you're watching in the replay, and I will be glad to help you get started. So if there is no more comments and no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. This is Brenda from Fit for a Better Me signing off with a reminder: when you feel better, you do better, and ultimately you live better. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next Let's Chat with Coach B. Talk to you then. Bye.